Hi, I'm Dr. Nicole Anderson, and I'm going to show you how to do the melt rebalance sequence. It's a series of 4 melt moves, and what this sequence does is it helps balance your nervous system. It helps you to ground and center. It helps you to feel more calm. It helps to open up your diaphragm, which is going to help relieve stiffness in the shoulders, the neck, and the lower back. Okay, so first thing to do is just lay still on your back and notice what you feel. So you're just going to notice where you have space and where you don't. Noticing which parts of your body are touching the mat and which parts of your body are not. And ideally you would have a space for your neck, a space for your lower back, a space for your knees, and a space for your ankles. And if you're noticing that your spine and ribs are off the ground above your belly button, that's an imbalance, a common imbalance. That means there's tightness in your diaphragm, which often happens from shallow breathing, tension, lots of sitting, and tightness in the diaphragm can cause strain and pain in your neck, shoulders, and back. All right, so we're going to lay on the melt roller on your back. There's 2 ways to get on the melt roller. You can sit on the roller and lay back like this, or you can lay on your side and roll up onto it. So to show you from this angle, you would lay on your side, roll up onto it. So if somebody's not as mobile, that's the best way to get onto it. All right, and what we're gonna start with is just some nice, easy, gentle rocking. And you're just letting your head, shoulders, hips, and knees all go together. You wanna get that feeling of falling and catching yourself. This gentle rocking helps your nervous system to calm. All right, we're gonna come to the middle here, and then go ahead and rest your hands on your pelvis, fingers pointing down towards your pubic bone. And we're going to start with tucking the pelvis. So that means you're going to make the small of your back move toward the roller. So you're gonna be flattening your back toward the roller. Okay, that's what we call a tuck and melt. And then we're gonna untuck, which just means relax. And that's gonna move your pelvis forward, so it's gonna move into a tilt, and that's gonna bring your small space in your lower back to being a space. All right, so we're gonna go tuck, tilt, tuck, tilt, tuck, tilt. And as I tuck, my lower back space goes away, and my fingers that are resting on my pubic bone are kind of coming up toward the ceiling. My palms are coming down toward the floor. As I tilt, then my fingers are moving down toward the floor, palms are coming up, okay? And then find the mid-range, and you're just gonna move back and forth in the mid-range, just like 4 or 5 times. Make sure, it's really important that you're keeping this pain-free. So make sure it's pain-free. And the other thing to watch is that you're keeping your knees in line with your sits bones, all right? So don't let them bow out to the side. By keeping your knees in line with your sits bones, that's gonna force you to use your core to help you balance on the roller. And if you notice that you're wobbling around, that's a good sign. That means that your nervous system is working and your core is working to balance you on the roller. If you're stiff as a board while you're on here and there's no movement, that means you're too braced, and we don't want that. All right, next we're gonna move on in. So that was our pelvic tuck and tilt. Now we're gonna move into our 3D breath breakdown. So for the 3D breath breakdown, you're gonna have one hand on your chest, one hand on your lower abdomen, and you're just gonna take a nice full breath in, chest and belly rising equally. It's really common for people to be more of a belly breather or more of a chest breather. So just notice which one you tend to be, but try to have your chest and your belly rise equally. Okay, then we're gonna move our hands to the sides of our ribs, and we're gonna take a nice full breath. Ribs expanding out into our hands, but I also want you to notice your belly rising up. Okay, we're gonna do 3 of those. Good, and then bring your hand one to your upper chest, one to your lower abdomen again, and this time we're just thinking of length between your hands, thinking of your spine elongating. Another way that I visualize it is as I breathe in, my belly and chest are rising, and I'm also noticing it feels like an expansiveness down into my pelvis and up toward my throat. So just noticing that expansion all the way through, okay? Because you do have fascia that runs in these transverse planes here, and we're just helping that to open with our breath. All right, great. Now that's our 3D breath breakdown. We've noticed all these 3 dimensions, all right? And now we're gonna put those dimensions all together for a nice 3-dimensional breath. Okay, and then we're going to do the 3D breath. So that's gonna be the next part. So the last exercise in the Melt Rebalance sequence of the 4 exercises is called the 3D breath. This exercise helps activate your neurocore, which is really important for the health of your back. A lot of people with back pain, their back pain is going to improve just by doing this exercise every day. If not every day, at least 3-4 times a week. And if you can, it's even better to do it more than once a day, especially if you're having stiffness or pain in your back. So for this last part of the sequence, we're going to rest your hands on your belly button, and we're going to be activating transverse abdominis and lumbar multifidi, which are part of your neurocore, and they are important stabilizing muscles of your back. Transverse abdominis is in the front, lumbar multifidi are small muscles in the back. Hands resting on your belly button, you're going to take a nice full breath in, just like before, the 3D breath. Breathing in, chest and belly, and usually I recommend people breathe in for about 4 seconds. And ideally you would even hold for 4 seconds. This isn't particularly melt, but it's the way I like to teach it. Just makes us kind of slow down. And then exhale for 4 seconds. Making a sound. By making the sound, you strongly activate your neurocore. Okay, and you're gonna feel the belly button draw down and in as you make that sound. Okay, and then we're gonna breathe in again for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and then we're gonna exhale, making a strong sound. Belly button drawing down and in toward the spine. Don't let your spine go into a tuck as you do that. Just let it just be whatever it is. There should still be a small arch in your lower back as you get to the bottom of that sound. Now there's a couple other sounds you could do. You could do a ha sound or a s sound. The important thing is just to make a sound. Different sounds have different resonances, which can have a different effect on your nervous system. So I like to do all of them. But if you want to just pick one, that's fine too. All right, and then after you've done 4 of those, then just try doing a sound, just try doing a breath without making a sound, but still notice your belly button on that exhale, drawing down and in towards your spine. But you'll notice that by making the sound, it's a stronger activation of your neurocore. All right, now we're gonna stretch out one leg. We're gonna roll off on the straight leg side. We're gonna lay flat and we're gonna reassess. So as you lay flat, just notice what you feel, okay? Just compare what you feel now to before. All right, just notice if your back curve got a little smaller. Usually it will. And if it got a little smaller, that means your diaphragm got opened up, which it means that it's gonna help your lower back, help your neck and shoulders. And then also just notice if your neck space got smaller, if the space behind your knees and behind your ankles got a little smaller, if there's more contact at your thighs and calves, and even your arms than before. And just notice if it feels like you're just sinking into the floor, because that's really common. People just feel like, I just feel like I'm sinking into the floor more than before. Feel more relaxed. So even if you just notice one thing that's better, that's a good sign. You know, that means that you have made a positive change toward better health for your neck, shoulders, and back. So good job. That's it.